All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
With the Hebrew Israelites, we come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom that we see before us. All right, scriptures speak of it as spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, and Gomorrah. All right, spiritual Rome, reincarnated. All right, but before we go any further, we're gonna face the east. Give infinite honors and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, HaRakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last seconds of time, man. All right, and as you can see, we're prophesying yet another workday in Babylon the Great, man, that whore that sitteth upon many waters. All right, and before the camera started rolling, we had an encounter with a couple of FBI agents, right? Or security of a Federal Bureau of Investigation building, all right, which came to us because we were originally going to set camp up on this block right here at the corner of Lafayette and Vermilion, all right? But now we're setting this camp up in the area where the FBI has ordained people who protest, people that come out and speak to prophesy or what to speak in, Salaki, all right? But when they came up to us, they authorized us. It was a Jake. His name was Joseph, and he had two other agents with him. One of them by the name of Gavin, one of which was an Edomite from the face of him. Another by the name of Smith, which was a Jake. And they came and said, "Hey guys, you're not able to prophesy right here. You're not able to preach out the Bible right here. Y'all got to go right here. All right, where we've sanctioned people to go and protest against this building. All right. Now, why would the need for a protest be if there's not injustices? All right, and there's not transgression being held and being proclaimed in this building right here, man." But that's another topic. But they came and they started talking to us, basically saying, "Well, you know what? Y'all gotta move right here." So we politely obliged. We moved, all right, because the scriptures tell you, agree with thine enemy quickly, lest thou be art in the way with him and he deliver you up, man. So that was a chance for them to make recognition right there. But through the spirit, we didn't let them, man. We didn't let them get that higher rank or that rep off of us in the spirit, man. We did it accordingly in decency and order, man. All right, brother spoke, I spoke, other brother spoke. We said things to them that coordinated the message that what? We're not these average Jakes out here. We're not like these other Jakes. You got a precept out?
Yeah, Con.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Con's the precept to back up the scripture you just referred to. This
it.
is Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. This is Yahushua speaking right here. Agree with thine adversary quickly.
And what's an adversary, man? Let's go to Esau Edom. Now, Esau Edom controls the society, Job 9 and 24. But you have adversaries amongst our major adversary, man. Like Jake would say, that's my opposition. Esau is our op, man. But amongst Esau, you have our own people, all right, that come against us, slander us, that seek to deliver us up, all right, even within our own family. So this situation today was an example of that, man. Go ahead, bro.
Now it says, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him.
Right, we were in the way with him, meaning that what? We could have, that potential conflict right there could have led to us walking away unscathed or being delivered up, man. That could have led to a possible search and seizure. You know the policies that these Edomites go through, arrest, detainment, things like that, man. If we wouldn't have watched our words. But that right there labels the distinction between the elect and the rest of Israel. We walk around with that circumspect. All right, we walk around saying, well, you know what? That's another trap right there. Hold on, Akim. Let's do this. Let's move in order. All right. This brother say something, but ultimately, like the brother read, agree with thine adversary quickly. All right. Lest he be the art in the way with thee, man. Lest he take you up and say, you know what? Oh, these guys are getting unruly. All he gotta do is Morris Bart, man. Make one call. That's all, man. We're vulnerable, and we're out here in the midst of our enemies, man. This is a spiritual war zone. That was a tactical war right there of Esau, man. But ultimately, of the Most High testing us to see how we're going to deal with it. Are y'all studying enough to know how to apply wisdom to this situation? Are y'all really the guys y'all say on the camera and off the camera? That's why the Most High is testing us, man. In situations like those, you got it out.
Now it says, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge. And ironically, right in front of us is, a courthouse building.
Pan around for it, dog.
Huh.
Pan around.
Huh. My phone down.
Yeah, man. A federal courthouse building, which a lot of
let y'all see
recent
this
events. Brother gonna pan around, so like.
You see that right there? John M. Shaw United States Courthouse. Okay, that's what's right in front of us. God. All right. All right.
That's right, man. We good, huh? Put it in the exact right spot. John M.
Wow.
Shaw United States Courthouse, man.
Yep.
This is we're in like they say, what the hot boys said, enemy turf, man. We're on enemy turf right now, man. At any moment, 12 corrupt slide past here. All right, the jump out guys, FBI, whatever it may be, man, detain us. Hey, we know you guys are da 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 da. Nah, man. But listen, the mindset and the way of life that the men of the Lord take upon to is watching ahead of danger, man. We see danger coming and we say, oh, hey, y'all watch, be circumspect. Look what's going on, man. Every time, man. You got it, bro. You got it, man.
All right, Matthew 5, verse 25, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. So, if we would have dealt with that encounter, okay, the wrong way, which is what, carnally, arguing back and forth with those officers, they could have easily, grabbed us up, put us in cuffs and delivered, and brought us right, right into that courthouse, right, right across the street where we're at. And then once the courthouse would have dealt with us and found us guilty of whatever little violation that we would have, offended in, then literally right across from the courthouse, okay, around the block, there's a jail, a prison, okay, nearby where we're at right now. So they could have easily made, easy work out of us, throwing us into that courtroom, finding us guilty. Then right after that, dragging us out of the courtroom and putting us into that prison. Okay, and all of that could have happened if we would have dealt with it, that encounter outside of the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Ashai. And which is why, the Apostle Paul, as well as, the rest of the apostles, okay, when you read their epistles, they constantly, harp on, walking in the spirit, dealing with things in the spirit, okay, not being carnally minded. Because what did the Apostle Paul say in Romans 8 chapter? To be carnally minded is, death, can lead to your death. And especially when you deal with, police officers or, FBI agents and so on and so forth. So you got to deal with them in the spirit according to the instructions that's, that the Lord left for us in the scriptures. Agree with thine adversary quickly. You got it, Doc.
Right.
All right, this is Proverbs 15:1. It says, a soft answer turneth away wrath.
That's the one I had, It's the spirit. A soft answer turneth away wrath. And a soft answer, it's not talking about, oh, well, hey, I love everybody. The Lord came for everybody. Can't we all get along? Nah, man. That's a righteous soft answer. That's an answer full of being circumspect. A wise answer. Witty, man.
Right, it says, it says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, as the brother said, knowing how to speak to these people. All right, discharging, the situation, man. All right, speaking, coming to them very cordial, making sure they understand that we're not hostile.
Keep that word discharge, for the brother. That's a beautiful point, bro.
Understanding that we're coming to them cordial, all right, and not carnal, with reason, all right, and that we're not trying to stir up trouble, man. All right, like your average Jake. It says, but grievous words stir up anger, man. And that's 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. Right? A person who, who doesn't have knowledge, all right, pertaining to the scripture would react off of that carnally, man. All right?
Right. And grievous words are unnecessary, man. Grievous words are filled with emotions. That's why you see the average Jake, when we see a viral video, that Jake go go viral of him in an altercation with a police officer. What's that main thing that Jake is doing?
Running his mouth.
Running his mouth, like the brother said, saying something that he has totally no idea about, and just speaking off emotion, man. Just full of emotion. Da, 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 F the police. Well, you know what? Y'all ain't right anyways. Well, you know what? You're not moving according to the spirit. You're going to be led up to that judge. We're not. We're coming in the answer of a short answer that's turning away that wrath. We're agreeing with our enemies quickly, man. You got it, bro.
It says, verse 2, it says, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, man. So they're going to use the knowledge that the Lord has given them, which is like the precept that the brother just brought out, was what? Agree with our adversary quickly, man, because what? He could throw you into a prison, man. All right, he's in the position of authority in a society where his word is over yours, man. All right, so you want to move, all right, like the brother said, man, very discreet. Okay, all right, cool, sir. All right, we're gonna move. We're gonna relocate. All right, to a different place. All right, we don't want no problems. All right, what you brothers have?
Hey, Proverbs 18 and 21. I got a quick one. It's 2 Corinthians 11 and 22. Back in the brother, the apostles is a great example of what to do in situations where the enemy, all right, is greater than you and you're at a disadvantage, and how to act spiritual. It's 2 Corinthians 11 and 22. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Yahushua Mashiach? I speak as a fool. I am more. In labors more abundant. In stripes above measure. In prisons more frequent. In deaths oft. Which means often, man. Meaning what? We're often found in these situations where our life is at stake. Our life is held in the balance. All right? We're in situations where our enemy has the best of us. Our enemy has the advantage. In America, the streets, man. The scriptures tell you we have watched for a nation that have not saved us. Get that as well, like in Lamentations. We have watched for a nation that have not saved us. They hunt our steps in the streets, man. And you can better believe that those agents, they would have hunted our steps if we would have pushed the wrong button with them, man. It would have been it's a slim line between yes, sir, no, sir, to we're going to read you your rights. You have a right to remain silent. It's a slim line between that, man. So we could have easily, man, in that situation, been brought up to the courthouse that the brother pointed out, which is right across the street, man. That would have been a small thing for them to round us up, man. Easy. We were right there in close proximity, all right? The jail is right there. They're on duty. Not to mention, these weren't undercovers. They were on duty, man. From the one that drove up in a truck to the other two that came behind him, man. His underlines. But it says, of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day have I been in the deep. In journeys often, in perils of water, in perils of robbers, in perils by mine own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils by the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and in thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness. And Apostle Paul said what? Through all those things, nothing shall separate us from the love of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, man. So not an altercation with a police officer, not an altercation with your family members, false brethren, the city, the sea, the animals, anything, man. It's going to separate us from this love. But it's truth, man, because we know what's going down in America, man. You people don't want to understand. And we know the Lord has always dealt with a small number, so yes. All right, it's 3 of us right now in Lafayette, but 3 could turn into 30, all right? At the moment's notice from the Lord, man. That's why we keep doing what we're doing, because we know it's going to be an influx of people. We know the Lord's Spirit is going to be poured out throughout the earth, man. We're preparing ourselves for that moment, man. And we're going to look each other in the eyes and say, hey, this that moment. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what the Lord has called us for, man. You got it, man. All right.
So I'm going to get that 18?
Yeah.
God, this is Proverbs 18 and let's see, 21. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. All right. So that's pretty much the point right there, man. Life and death, all right, are in the power of the tongue, man. All right. You know, how you deal with people, man. All right. How you deal with different situations. All right. Just like we were just now speaking about, man. All right. Or how you deal with Jake in the world. Or how you deal at your work, man. All right. All of these different things are what, man? Because if you talk crazy at your job, you might lose your job, man. All right. If you talk crazy to Jake or 2/3 in the world, man, well, he might want to off you, man. All right. So you bringing what sorrows to yourself, man. All right, by your tongue. All right. What you brothers have?
You got one of mine?
Yeah, Khan.
You got it.
This is Sirach, chapter 13, and I'm gonna read verse 19, and then after that I'm gonna jump down. Sirach, chapter 13, verse 9. If thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more he will invite thee. All right, so it's talking about the mighty man, right? Now I'm gonna jump down.
Right, man, and that's a tactic that we use, man. All right, we do what we work like the Elder was going into. We work backwards with you, man. We'll say, oh well, we'll ask you a question. I'll say, well, this and that. That's gonna lead to that. We're not gonna let you finesse us, man. We spiritually finesse in this place, so we're gonna draw you out and let you draw yourself in, man. Let you give us all the details. Okay, well, da da da. That's how we ended up talking to this guy over here, and then we were so reserved about it, saying, okay, well, all right, well, it's nice. We're gonna move. We're gonna do everything that you said. Then he ended up saying, well, guess what? If anybody else come around and try to talk to y'all and ask y'all, mess with y'all, say anything, just tell them we said this. They can't mess with y'all. Joseph, Smith, and Gabby. So that's what it ended up being, man. A favor is onto us, man. So now anybody comes around, any law enforcement, we're going to say those names. Okay, well, you got to take it off with officer this, officer that, because they told us they're employees of this building and actually told us that we're authorized to bring it out right here, man. So that's how the law works for us, man. You got it, bro.
All right, Sirach 13, verse 9. If thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more he will invite thee. Verse 10. Press thou not upon him. All right, don't press upon him, like these officers. Don't press upon them. Don't get in their faces. Don't argue. Back and forth with them. Try to escalate the situation even more than it should be. It says, press thou not upon him, lest thou be put back.
Don't push his buttons. And Jake loves to push buttons. Jake already is in captivity and slavery, all right? And you already got the lower advantage, but you still want to push these Edomites buttons? You still want to buck yourself up? Nah, man, there's going to be a time for that, man. The scriptures say we got to hate you with a perfect hatred, man. That's a part of our perfect hatred against you devils, man. We come in that state of, well, you know what? We're willing to do whatever you got to say, officer. We'll put our hands up. We'll stand against this wall, all right? You can search whatever you got to do because we know we're in the innocent. We know we're in the right, man. You can't have that state of mind if you know you're doing something wrong, man. Or if you know you're doing something underlying that the Most High could seek out and find out, man. You have to be on the righteous side of these arguments and these conversations. If not, you could be delivered up onto prison or death, man. You got it, bro.
All right, verse 10. Press thou not upon him, lest he put thee back. Stand not far off, lest thou be forgotten. Okay, now I'm going to jump down to verse 12. It says, but cruelly he will lay up thy words. Yeah, he will lay up thy words, meaning he's going to hold you accountable to whatever shit you saying to his face and pressing his buttons.
Yeah, man. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you do can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to hire a court-appointed attorney and so on and so forth, man. Mirandarize you. That's what it's called, man. That's another piece, an integral part of having an iron grip around you, Jake's necks, man. Because guess what? If the things that you say to that police officer, now they got body cameras, but now the things that you say to that police officer before you Mirandarize, you can say, well, he didn't Mirandarize me. I'm in a court of law right now. Those things that I said before he read me my rights, they don't count. towards my situation, towards my case. Or on the flip side, you can get Mirandaized, and all the things you say after is going against you in court. Now they got everything accounted against you, man. So that's the snares this devil is living with. This devil is leading this country with. 1 minute he's Roe v. Wade, he's legalizing abortion. You have the right. We're giving you everything. You can go down to these clinics, and if you made a mistake, it's your mistake. You do as thou will. Now, when it's not moving towards this agenda and towards this NWO, what does he say? We're going to illegalize it now. Because that's the motions of this devil, man. He moves and creates mischief and false and frames things through that legal system, man. Through his agents. They're just a reflection of what's going on in that building right there. Those agents we met today, man. They're just a reflection of what's going on in there, man. They're agents of this system. They were willing to, if we would have got into it with them, they would have been willing to die for that badge. They would have been willing to go out in a blaze of honor, whatever it would have been, man. If we would have took it to that level, but we're not going to take it to that level because we operate spiritually. You got it, right?
God, verse 12, Sirach 13, verse 12, but cruelly he will lay up thy words and will not spare to do thee hurt and put thee in prison. So he ain't gonna spare the rod, upon you if you get out of order, when you get out of line, especially when you get out, outside of the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai, and he's not gonna spare you to basically put your ass in prison. And then now that's gonna create a problem amongst the brotherhood, because now, brothers got to, find a way to come up with money to get you out of jail. Okay, you're not going to be able to, preach and do the work for whatever duration that you, in that prison. Okay, and, all of that could be avoided if you just, operate in the spirit.
All right, this is Proverbs 16:7. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
That's beautiful. Got it, bro.
All right, so basically, I'm going to read that again. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. All right, so whenever your ways please the Lord, all right, and what is the ways of the Lord, man? Coming in a subtle approach, man. Coming not in the carnal aspect, man. All right, not coming off like the scriptures say is hostile or carnal or being an uproar, man. All right, we come out here throughout the script. We come out preaching the words of the scriptures, man, not to be carnal, man. All right, as the scriptures say, move and agree with thy adversary, man. All right, that's the ways that please the Lord, man. All right, and through us moving that way, like the brother said, like the man that said, he said, all right, man, if y'all have any problems, all right, look, just remember my name, man. My name is Blase. All right, and if they come up here trying to deal with y'all, all right, tell them that pretty much I said that y'all can be out here, man. All right, that's the Lord being in your favor, man, because you chose to go through the Spirit.
Make you right up. It's Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth. Yahweh Shai speaking. Yep. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
That's right, man. Be wise as serpents, all right? Meaning that you got to slither your way out of the situation, all right, wisely, man. All right? And be harmless as doves, man. All right? Not being physical, man. All right? Not coming up with arms, all right? With guns or whatever the case may be. Man, we're going to jump this guy, man. Look, there's only one cop. So forth and so on, man. All right? We coming in the spirit of the Lord, man, which is, as the scriptures say, what, man? Wait upon me, man. All right, till I rise up to the prey.
We don't want a viral moment, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna get enough viral moments in the kingdom. We're gonna get viral moments even before this place is destroyed, man. Sirach 44 says, "Praise ye the famous men." So we're gonna be made. We're gonna have all that fame that we could get. We don't need to create a situation that could in turn give us negative publicity, man. Like the brother was saying, I think it was you, man. Basically, all right, you get locked up, like the brother was saying, you can't do the word, and now you got that negative publicity on you. Yeah. Now, even if you do come back amongst the body, it's like, oh man, this guy's loose cannon. This guy's he's a little wild, man. You gotta watch him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's on the fence now. You don't want that, man. We want to be persecuted for righteousness' sake, man. For righteousness' sake. Not what you think is righteous, Jake, because Jacob thinks something is righteous to Jacob be wicked to us. Something is wicked to us to be righteous to Jake. You got to be on the right-hand side of the Lord, man.
If I can say this, another thing is that, like the brother said, man, we got to come in a righteous vibration, man, because a lot of Jake are in the truth. What, man, they took guns, dead with guns at that, right? And what does that portray to the masses of the media, man? That will be hostile and nothing but another, what they call that Black Panther movement, Black Lives Matter, are they destructive? Blah, man. All right? They move like that so that whenever something happens, they'll have a reason to point the finger at you, man. All right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we gotta stay spiritual, man. All right? We can't leave this devil to put any type of blame on us, man. All right?
That's right, bro.
What you better say?
You got one, Mike?
Yeah, Con, I got one. This is Isaiah chapter 41, verse 14, 144. Isaiah 41, verse 14. It says, Fear not, thou worm Jacob.
Yeah, man. The worm is what? The fish.
Yeah.
Totally, man. You can literally get a worm out of the earth, put that worm in your hand, and say, well, you know what? I can do whatever I want with this thing, man. That's likened on to us, man. What's our defense, though? These laws, statutes, and commandments. That's our defense, man. Alms is a defense. Charity is a defense, man. Keeping these high holy days are a defense, man. Staying like this with the law, statutes, and commandments and the scriptures, that's a defense, man. We meditate upon these things. Therefore, in that great day of trouble, we be found blameless, man. Exonerated, like the brother goes into, man. That's the case that we want to be found in. And we got all this, and we're prophesying right here for a reason, man. We got all this Chase building. You got the 15 JDC. You got a federal courthouse, another FBI building up down the way. You got different churches around here. It's meant for the word to be pushed out right here, man, in this area, man. So much is going on, as we can clearly see today. It's a Saturday where, guess what? It's ghost town down here. They don't even have a lot of people going up to and fro down here, man. But 3 agents come and say, well, y'all can't bring it out on this specific corner that's about 30, 40 feet away from us, man, due to their strict guidelines and policies. But it says, you got it, bro. I got one after you, man.
Isaiah 41, verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, said the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So the Lord is going to be our defense. Okay, eventually when this devil comes down with that great wrath, like a flood, okay, that's when we know the Lord is going to lift up that standard for us, which it may come, for some brothers, it's going to come in the form of spiritual power. It's going to come in the form of the Archangel Michael. Okay, it's going to come in the form of, the Lord, busting us out of, prison and things like that.
Different miracles.
Yeah,
man.
Different miracles.
Yeah, man. The angels intervening, doing certain things. We're going to see these things, man. We're going to know. Hey, and for clarification's sake, man, everybody walking around these American streets, they want what? Clarification. What's really like, what am I doing here? I know I'm working a 9 to 5. I'm running a rat race, but what is this all going to lead to? They say to go and chase this dream, but I don't see any dream, man. So everybody has that question mark. We identify all of those question marks that you Jakes have, man. Any question that you have according to the scriptures, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we can answer it, man. With confidence, all right? These things didn't just come overnight. We had to work for this. Just like Jake had to so-called work in the society, we're working for this right now, man. We're trying to collect a spiritual paycheck right now. The brother bringing out precepts, that's clocking in and clocking out, man. But I got one after you, man.
That was it.
All right, this Romans 12 and 18, it says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, meaning what? We know we're going to take all these L's, man. So as much as lieth in you, as much as strength you have, you know you're going to be pissed off. You know you're going to be saying, well, damn, bro. If he'd have pushed one more button, that'd have been it, Lord. That'd have been it. But you had me within your guidelines, Lord. He was doing the most right there. But it says, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. And that's the characteristics of Jacob, because what? It says Jacob is a smooth man, dwelling in tents, man. Just chilling, relaxing, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Hey, you stay within your guidelines, I stay within my guidelines. I got my power that I worship that gives me benefits and tells me how to live my life. You live your life that certain way, look, that's on you, man. That's how people were, man. Loyal, integrity, man. What happened, Jake? What happened, man? We out here on these corners being called a proverb and a byword now, man. No respect. Being told to move across the street, man. You gotta teach the Lord's word in this area, which the so-called white man defined for you to teach it in, man. You don't think that hurts us, man? But do we what? Cry and weep and sob? Nah, man. We push on and keep pushing, man, for the Lord. But it says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, right? Because Yahushua is the ultimate avenger. We can, hey, man, the work that Yahushua.
I was thinking of that too.
You got it, right?
Yeah, Yahushua is the ultimate example of what the brother just read. You know, avenge not yourself. Because, hey, Yahushua was facing all types of, persecution. You know, of course, from the Jews that were of the circumcision back then. But nonetheless, you know, Yahushua was facing all types of persecution for, preaching the gospel and preaching the word. Okay, but, Yahushua remained peaceful with them. You know, Yahushua never really got cornered with any form of opposition. Even, while he was up there on the cross. Hey, as the scripture said, Yahushua was obedient unto death. You know, he didn't allow, opposition and carnal niggas to be the end of his ministry or the end of his story. Okay, he remained in his spirit. Okay, even until the time when he got up on that cross, and ultimately, what did him going up on that cross lead up to? You know, him being resurrected after 3 days. Okay, and being brought back to his glorious state, sitting at the right hand of the Father. And that's, what we as the hopeful elect, okay, we follow after that same example of Yahushua. Staying peaceful with all men, being obedient, unto death in the midst of all types of, opposition. Okay, hoping that we can be brought back to that glory underneath Yahushua as well. Okay, on the right hand side of the Father. You got it out.
Yeah.
It's a lot for being long with it.
It says, all right, verse 19. Romans 12 and 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, said the Lord. That's right, man. So we ultimately operate on that spirit of how Yahushua was, man. Yahushua did what? You curse him, he bless you. You say F him, he say, well, you know what? Give them, Lord. They know not what they do, man. That was the ultimate testament of them being that perfect sacrifice, that perfect lamb, man. Without blemish. Going down to the slaughter without saying a word, man. That's Yahushua. That's how we ought to go, man. But there's a difference between doing that and letting somebody completely fuck over you. There's a total black and white line between that, man. Just because we operate spiritual and being circumspect and being wise, don't mean you could just stick your foot up our ass, man. Nah, man. We operating on the spirit of the Lord. The spirit of the Lord ain't rocking like that, man. Esau just totally jacking you up and you just totally just giving yourself over to this devil, man. Nah, man. We work our way spiritually to get ourselves out of these situations, man, and operate in the spirit of the Lord. But it says, therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. And that's what ultimately we were giving them, right? They were hungry. They were hungry for rest. They were hungry for altercation. Well, let me say this and see if they do this, do that. But guess what? We did. We fed them. We didn't feed them with what they wanted to hear. We fed them with the spirit. And that did what? That quenched them. They said, we're backing off of them. We're backing off of them now. And, that ain't just like little Pookie I dealt with on level 3 just now. That's a little something different about them. All right, they were operating within their elements. Let them go, man. That's the spirit of the Lord. But it says, therefore, if thine enemy feed him, if he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good, man.
Wow.
You don't be overcome with the evil that's presented before you. Overcome that evil with good, with the spirit, man. The spirit gonna put that situation out, man. But you got it, man. You was gonna say something?
No, you can finish your point.
That was it on it.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
That was the last verse.
I wanted to land back on a scripture you had read earlier in Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And you know what's interesting about this scripture? When you read this whole entire chapter, like when you go up to to verses 5, 6, and 7,
Yeah.
this is Yahushua, basically giving the disciples the instruction, to go preach the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
And so throughout this whole entire chapter, he was, getting their minds prepared to, hey, when as you going around and preaching the kingdom, this is all the oppositions that you're going to face. You're going to be in the midst of wolves. You're going to be cast into prison. Okay, fear not them which can kill the body, but him which can, kill both the body and soul in hell. Okay, and so on and so forth. Yahushua was getting prepared for all types of oppositions, and adversaries that would come up against them for preaching the kingdom. Okay, and we're coming in that same stead as well. We out. We here. At camp, preaching the word, preaching the kingdom. Okay, and here it is. Before we even started camp, we already had opposition approaching us in the form of three police officers. Okay, so how much more opposition we're gonna face? Okay, down the line, especially as we get close to those blackouts and food shortages in the time of Jacob trouble and so on and so forth. So we have to gird our minds and be ready. That was it on that.
You got it, bro. That's it on that?
Yeah, I was finished.
All right, this is Luke 21:12. It says, "But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake." All right. It says, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. So it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what you shall answer, and I will give you a mouth and wisdom which
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful because the things that we said, that wasn't of our own accord. That was of the Lord, man. And that goes with the elect in all of our speech, man. And even if we go out and the cameras go off and we go to the supermarket, we go to the store, we go to the job, our speech being circumspect, that's to the spirit of the Lord, man. If we be of that number, that's what's special about the elect, man. You got to move yourself close to the wisdom, to the house of faith, man. You're going to need it, America, in these times that we're facing, man. You're going to need it, Jake. Tomorrow is another calamity. Monday is another famine, man. These things are not stopping. And whether you want to recollect it in your small American mind, just thinking only inside of America, and don't want to think outside the box or not, man, you're going to be destroyed in that, man. That's the bitter end of this place. You got it, bro. I got one after.
This is verse 15. "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." And that account that we had today was a example of that, because we moved through wisdom, which is the ways of the Lord, man. All right, and it says, "And ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall be cast into prison." It says, "And ye shall be hated of all people for my name's sake, but ye shall not a hair on your head perish." This is really the point I want to make. In your patience possess ye your souls, man. So being patient and moving through the spirit, all right. The Lord will preserve your soul, man. All right. The Lord will preserve you from these sad perils, man. These different spirits that's out here, man. All right. But you better have it.
You got one of mine? I have
Yeah, gone.
You got it.
Just backing up, Amawaz, where it just read, read the part again where it says, you shall cast you in prison, something like that.
Let's see here. It says, "And before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you and deliver you up into the synagogues and into the prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake."
Yeah, so it says, for the word's sakes, we will be brought into the prisons, right? Well, what did Yahushua, tell John the Revelator, about those that will be, cast into prison?
Revelation 2:10?
Yep, that's what I'm at.
Bro, you got it.
This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. So first and foremost, Yahushua told us, don't fear when these things come upon us. Okay?
Yeah, man. And some of the things that are going to come upon us is going to be worse than that altercation we had today, man. Way worse, man. It's going to be it could lead to actual detainment, us being actually brought up. That's why it's written on, man, spoken on. We're going to have that tribulation, all right? But it's going to show forth who we truly are. It's going to show forth, are you of the elect? Are you a 2/3 of Israel, man? Are you saved for deliverance? Are you saved for destruction, man? Go ahead, bro.
Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried.
That's right, man. Devil, deceiver, Esau, Edom, the system. But not only Esau, Edom, it might not even be Esau, man. It might not even be an Edomite. It'll be your own people, man. Jake's delivering you up. We seen it today, man. The Jake was the top one over the Edomites, man. But the Spirit of the Lord had it on him to where what? When he came up to us, the way we handled it and encountered it, he left off saying, look, man, if anybody mess with y'all, tell them they got to come see me. That's basically what he said, man. If that ain't the Spirit of the Lord, I mean, come on, man. Just a small thing like that to give you a faith booster, because in certain circumstances, the Lord going to spin the block again. Let me bring that back around to you, see how you deal with it. It's going to be even greater. Then you could go back to that situation and say, oh, we dealt with something similar right there on the highways and byways, man. I know this is from the Lord. Let me stay firm and grounded in this truth. You got it, bro.
God, it says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
Completion, man. 10 days, man. It might be 10 days. It might be 7 days. Just complete, man.
10 minutes.
Yeah, man. Like the brother said, man. A complete amount of time to where the Lord's will is fulfilled in that time, man. Everything that goes on within that amount of time is going to be of the Lord, if you're of that number, man. But guess what? During that time, the Lord commands us to do what, man? Unto death. Go ahead, bro.
God, it says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Ooh, faithful unto death, man. That means what? Some of us will be put to death. Some of us will be martyrs, but on that course, you got to finish it faithfully. You can't cop out. You can't say, well, I'm ready to give up whoever you need me to be. Because guess what? Whether you give us up, whether you turn us into the government or whatever it may be, guess what's in store for you, man? Shame in the kingdom. Your head down. You're going to be low. A low rank, man. You're going to be made shame here in America. All right? Because you didn't have any integrity to finish your course. You wanted to blame another man. Finish your course the Lord gave you, man. Stand firm and gorge your loins up. Don't blame another man and say, oh, well, let's turn him and let's do this, man. Finish your course, man. Stop being a weak link. Like that movie. What was that TV show, Akim? When they used to say, you are the weakest link. I forgot the name of that game show, man. Yeah. You are the weakest link, man. We want our names written in the book of life, man. Who wants to be a millionaire? Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it was it. You got it, bro. You got some more?
Nah, that was it.
I got one. You got one up? I got one real quick. Because ultimately what? Yahushua, like the brother said, was the greatest example of going through all those things. Being brought through the ringer. Asking the Lord how long. Being persecuted to the furthest extent, man. Being like they say on these interviews when these Edomite DAs come out and they say, we're going to persecute him to the furthest extent of the law. Yeah. That's what they did to Yahushua, man. But all those things, he kept that mindset of what? I'm going to finish the course. I'm on my Father's business. All right? A house has to be built. A foundation has to be laid. It's bigger than just this lot I'm in right now. I'm going to come back as that quickening spirit.
And if I may say, man, hey, speaking of Yahushua being the greatest example of all the things that we bringing out, Yahushua during his ministry, he was so much into the spirit that even Pontius Pilate couldn't find any fault with him. You know, whenever they delivered him up to Pontius Pilate,
Yeah.
you know, he was like, you know, I find no fault in this man.
Right, bro.
Nah, you know, Yahweh Shai, man, yeah, he was that perfect example. You know, not letting carnality rule over him, not you know, letting carnal niggas, you know, be the end of his story, okay, and the end of his ministry, okay, to where, you know, Pontius, you know, which was an Edomite, okay, the devil himself, you know, being a devil himself, even the devil couldn't find fault with Yahweh Shai. You know, so hey, you know, so Lord willing, you know, if we have that number, you know, we walk in that same set as well. You know, being you know, without fault and blameless before the Lord.
Right, bro. Hey, ultimately, we're not going to be made fault and blameless. And guess what? That was the example of it right there, man. How they left us alone, man. They found no fault in us for doing what we was doing. Hey, just go over here to this side, man. And Lord willing, the Lord put those spirit on those two Jakes and that Edomite, so somebody else try to come out here and persecute us, say something, hey, y'all move around doing that, all right? They come out of the woodworks just like they did just now, man. Say, hey, they good. We already had prior talks with them, and we're gonna bring it up, man, as in our defense, to get us away from something potentially that could damage us. You got it, I got a quick one. It's Isaiah 53:1. It says, "Who had believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He had no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him." It's talking about Yahweh. He came on the scene, and he was a total example of what an Israelite should be, how they should think, how they should move. Like they say, even these Christians have that little saying that they say, what would Jesus do, right? Yeah, man. We're displaying the characteristics of Yahweh right here across the four corners, man. All of the men of the Lord. Like the scriptures say, that little sanctuary, man, to the Lord. All across the four corners displaying what Yahweh was, what he talked about, what he proclaimed, how he looked, the image, and how he's going to come forth and destroy these other nations, man. But it says, he is despised and rejected of men. Are now we despised? If they didn't despise us and reject us, they'd have let us still, well, we're right there, man. They just said, well, those guys are highly respected in the society, all right? Where they're preaching that right there, we ain't got nothing to say to them. I guarantee if it was some Edomites that were high-level attorney generals or had something to do with this building right here, man, they wouldn't have had nothing to say. Oh, y'all on a federal building, y'all doing right what y'all supposed to be doing. We're despised and rejected, but it says, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised and we esteemed him not. Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes we are healed, man. That's the Lamb. Yahweh Shai, man, that white horse. With his stripes we are healed. He went through all the tough, like they say, out of my comfort zone situations that you could go through, all the awkward situations. All the situations when you just totally know you're 144% right, but they giving you wrong. You know you're in the right case, in the right sense, but they say you're wicked. Do you not think that this man wants payback and vengeance, man? That's why we said vengeance is of the Lord. We don't take vengeance on these people, man. We're willing to go out in this truth. This is a spiritual war zone. You got it, man.
You got something on the walls?
You can bring yours on. I'm going to go right after you.
All right, come. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you.
Fiery trial, man. I mean, it's not going to be easy. The scriptures tell you, a man shall be made more precious than fine gold. And that, I think it's the Apostle Paul, he says, but light affliction, but for a moment, man.
2 Corinthians 4 chapter.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Light affliction, get that real quick, light affliction, but for a moment, man. So just as that light affliction will but be for a moment, Guess what else will be for a moment? A moment and a twinkling of an eye, man.
Yep.
That last trumpet, us getting beamed up, man. You got it,
Now, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you, Yeah, because if you claim to be a follower of Yahushua, if you claim to be a believer in the Word, okay, then you're gonna have to bear your cross, as Yahushua commanded the disciples 2,000 years ago, and in which we're disciples in the Spirit. Okay, we follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Okay, but we're gonna have to bear our cross as well and endure persecution and affliction, just as Yahushua did.
Go that right quick.
Mhm.
It's 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, backing the brother up. There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear, man. So all this temptation, all this chastisement, this fiery trial, is common to those men that have walked the same walk that we walked in these prior reincarnations. Paul, Peter, John, James, Matthew, Luke, John, Micah, Jeremiah, Nehemiah, all right, Malachi, and so on and so forth, man.
Enoch.
Yeah, man. That's right, man. Translated.
Yep.
Enoch meaning dedicated, man. You don't think hard work is put into this? Hard work going into what? Experience. We're experienced in certain things, man. We've dealt with certain type of spirits. Oh, we know how he come. Oh, you know what? He finna come with that angle. They're gonna come with that doctrine. We're versed, man. Well traveled, but you got it, huh?
And in that scripture that you just read, right, it said the Lord is gonna, make a way to for his, servants to escape.
The latter end. It says the latter end, but 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye be made able to bear it.
Make a way to escape. Okay, because that's just their call. I thought that was that.
I thought it was a horn.
Yeah, me too.
That's the weakest horn in America.
Yeah. But like it just said, the Lord is gonna make a way for us, for his elect to escape out of temptation. And ironically, referring back to Isaiah 59 again, where it says the Lord is gonna lift up that standard. Ironically, when you look up that word standard, it means a way to escape, a way of disappearance, escape, and so on and so forth. Because when this devil, when he comes down with that great wrath like a flood, that's gonna, he's gonna bring all types of temptations with it. Tempting us to, take the jab, to take the charagma, okay. But the Lord is not gonna suffer his elect, to take all those things, but instead he's gonna create a way of escape, a standard, okay. But this is First Peter chapter 4, verse 13. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
Right, man. Partakers meaning what? Joint heirs.
Yep.
We're joint heirs with this thing. That means we have to go through certain things to get that inheritance, like the brother brought out, man. We have to be a part of that fire. We have to see all these calamities on this side, on that side, and not faint in a day of adversity, man. We got to have strength. We got to carry on, and we got to have that mindset to where nothing, like we was talking about yesterday, nothing is going to take us away from this. Nothing is going to deter us. Nothing is going to swerve us out of the way of fighting for this thing right here, man. Teaching, prophesying, growing, learning more. Because the more we grow, the more we learn, the more we get in these scriptures, that puts us above the curve, ahead of the curve, ahead of you people, man. Which makes us a light of the world, a light to the Gentiles, man. A pillar in the temple, a new Jerusalem, which is a spiritual temple, man. That spiritual third temple. It was destroyed during the time of Nebuchadnezzar, destroyed during the time of the Romans, and rebuilt right now on the planet Earth across the four corners, man. Lord willing, we be at that number. You got it up.
All right, this is 2 Corinthians 4 And let's see, 16. For which cause we faint not, but through our outward man perish.
We faint not. And how will we faint during this time right here? Like giving in, taking the juice, having our sights on the end of yoke. Because Jake's out here, this society is what? It's putting his mindset on dropping that currency, dropping the paper dollar, and picking up digital, picking up UBI, picking up this Karagma. So Jake is ready for that transition, just like the society transitions from what? Different seasons to another season, all right? Different temperatures, different fashions, different fads that come into society. This Karagma is going to be another one of that, man. But the scriptures tell you the fashion of this world fadeth away, man. That Karagma, that's your worst battle against the Lord, Esau. And those that submit against it, you're going into that lake of fire, man. With fire and brimstone, which the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah in with fire and brimstone. And when you look up a component, basically in the ICBM missile, is what? Sulfur, right? Which goes back to what? Brimstone, man. So the Lord is going to destroy this place with the ancient weapon, man. You got it, bro.
It says, yet inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
Got it.
All right. So the things, the little confrontations, the different things that we go through, all right, through our daily lives, man, is building us up through the spirit, man. And we're putting off that old man of how we used to be, man. All right, and putting on the new man, which is ultimately going to be those new bodies, man. All right, we're prepping ourselves for those new bodies right now. All right, it says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not. But that was the point in verse 17, man, is that, that we're working towards, all right, being, as Yahweh shot, man, all right, many Yahweh shots, all right. I also got one more scripture.
You got it. I got one too.
All right.
Yeah.
This is 1 Peter's 5 and 9. It says, "Who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in the brethren in the world, man." All right. So what? The brethren are going through the same things, right? And that's what we go to, man. We go to each other, man. That's what the brotherhood is for, man. That's what the body is for. Because as the brother was saying, we all going through different experiences, and the brother might be going through something or that same experience, and you'll be able to help him out, man. All right, to be able to get through that, man. So that's the reason why
to be able to admonish him. And we got the elders from apostles on down to us. What do? They admonish us. They want us. Hey, bro, don't fall into that situation. Here's what happened in the past. Here's what history says about that. Here's what the scriptures say about that, most importantly, man. And we take heed to that. And us taking heed is why we're here right now, man. Yep. And you, Jakes, are going to be in a lost state of mind and a lost cause, man. You got it, bro.
It says the same afflictions are accomplished in the brethren that are in the world, man. From the apostles on down, man. All right? From the scriptures in the Bible, man. All right? We know that all of these things are accomplished, man. All right? The victory is ours. All right? We just got to, fulfill our lot, man. We just got to walk through. We just got to, play our part. That's pretty much it. All right?
I just got a quick one.
I got one after you.
This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, neither shall he be. Let me read that again. Dang. Sirach 2, verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not.
Right, your mind is faint, meaning you're not built up. You're not built up. You're always letting something else deter you from studying, deter you from growing. And when it's time to show forth what you've learned, you're double-minded. Oh, I don't know what to do in this situation. Oh, I'm acting iffy. You're not moving in the spirit, man. We're in this thing to learn and grow, man. To be better than we were a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, man. We want to look back on ourselves and say, man, I didn't know this at that time. Now I know it. Now I can break this down. Now I got this understanding. Now I can speak it with confidence. You got it, bro.
And God, the scriptures talks about, the Lord has set forth, apostles, prophets, and so on, evangelists, so on and so forth, all for what? The perfecting of the saints. Okay, perfect according to what? Perfect as far as knowing how far it is from where we're standing at to the sun or to the moon. No. All right, perfect in regards to our understanding of, doing the will of the Lord and ultimately receiving salvation. We've been, we've been given a shoot, to take it and learn it and grow with it to ultimately, become teachers of this truth, as well as, the men who taught us this truth, the perfecting of the saints. It says, Sirach 2, verse 13, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So the Lord is not going to defend unbelievers, okay, the ones of our people that are, that, when the going gets rough, they're going to lean unto Esau and lean unto Egypt for help, and, rather than Yahweh Shema Shah, okay? And much ironically, that's one of the scriptures that you called for before Kemp, that Isaiah 31. You want to bring that out?
Yeah, you can grab it. Yeah. Let me get this real quick. You have one up? You can bring yours out.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Right, man. Egypt being this society we currently live in, man. Egypt being likened on to wherever the elect is scattered, that place where all the wickedness goes out. You got different elect that are scattered across the four corners, but to Egypt, to them, might be different to Egypt to us, man. That system, America is our Egypt, man. Our system that people go down to help with, go down to get benefits from, go down to get assistance from. But what did the Lord say about it? He said, destruction unto you, because you take covering with a covering, but not of my spirit, man. You get authorization, but not of the Lord's authorization. Like it tells you in the book of Maccabees, they got license to what? Do after the ways of the heathen, man.
Yeah.
And fell off from the Lord. We're the ones, the elect is really the ones, like that story, that underdog story where you have something that's totally wiped out and you got a generation that comes back and just shake it back, man. Like put life into it. That's like it onto the elect, man. We put life into our generations, man. Life into our people. Life into this household of faith. You got it, bro.
God. Isaiah 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many.
Right, man. Trust in the system. Trust in the police force. Trust in DCFS. Trust in Louisiana Workforce Commission. Trust in all these different avenues and alleys that give you some type of leeway to success. Give you a path to where now you're in America, but you're climbing up that ladder. You're chasing that American dream, that dog-eat-dog world, that rat race. Don't go down to Egypt for help. Seek the Lord, man. Petition to the Lord. You petitioning and trying to get a lawsuit afoot in a court realm, but why not petition to you? How about Shimei Awashai, man? Petition, give your prayers up to the Lord, man. Stop trusting in the system, because the system is going to run you dry until you have nothing left, Jake. As we can see, it's about to run you dry with this charagma, man. That charagma is going to take everything out of your system, man. You think Esau got attached to your bank account? He got attached to your phone, your 401k. He could freeze anything at any moment. But watch when this charagma is enforced and made mandatory, man. You're going to see the real horns of this devil, who he truly is. You got it, brother.
God, and it says, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
That's right, man. That's our people, man. All right, they trust into these different organizations. They trust into the system. All right, they trust into the school system. All right, they trust into their government. All right, they trust their job. All right, they trust in this money. All right, they trust in everything else besides Yahweh Shimei Awashai, man. create everything that they see, man. All right, and they disregard the prophets, man, which are bringing the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to try to, bring you back to the fold. What you got, y'all?
Verse 2, it says, "Yet he also is wise and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity."
Workers of iniquity, man. Working iniquity, working transgression. But guess who you're working for? You're working for Esau on that left-hand side to try to make America great again. And that's what all you people are doing in a nutshell. You social workers, you lawyers, attorneys, medical doctors, frat members, fraternity, sorority members. What's your mindset about America? Well, I got 5-10 years left to collect retirement. Oh, well, I'm waiting for Johnny's graduation. I'm waiting for this college graduation. I'm waiting to raise my kids up in the society so when I'm gone, I can leave something to them. This is our inheritance, man. This is what we leave off to our children's children, man. This wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Not these riches on earth where moss and dust corrupt, man, and where fools can come in and steal. I got one after you, man.
All right. Verse 3, Isaiah 31, verse 3. "Now the Egyptians are men and not God."
Right, man. That men are not, man. The Most High tells you, Exodus 15, the Most High throw it in the horse and a rider into the sea, man. All those Egyptians that pursue us, that put on that cloth of Egypt, spiritual Egypt, which is America, what happened to them in the end? When that Exodus, in Exodus, they were caught up in that Red Sea. What's going to happen right now? They're going to be caught up in that nuclear missile, that sea of nuclear missiles, man. The Lord said, I changed not. He's bringing this back to you, man. This is about to happen again on the planet Earth, man. The Lord's going to work in this day that's greater than anything you could picture in a TV or CNN segment. All right? A Lifetime movie, man. You got it, bro. You got it, man. I'm on. You speaking? You got it. I got one.
How far down you wanted me to read?
That's pretty much the point now.
Okay.
Let's bang you up. Bang your brothers up. This second Ezra 7 and 9. It says, if this city now, I'm going to start at 8. It says, Salaki, I'm going to start at verse 6. There's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. And we're faced with all those different places to fall, right? We got different traps, different snares. But at the end, we see what? Man, that's our inheritance down there. That's Yahweh. That's the kingdom down there. Are we going to let a trap on this side or a trap on that side that may be dangerous and perilous stop us from getting to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Nah, we're going to use this great book that we've been given to get us this way. Okay, we're at this checkpoint. We're at that checkpoint. Oh, we even closer. That's the chip right there, Aki. That's the chip. That's the Karagma right there. Ahoy, Doritos, Lay's. That's the Karagma right there, Aki. That's the Karagma. Okay, we see Yahweh in the coming distance. Now we know we close, man. But we filter all things through this, man. We don't go through any damn Esau's manual, man. This is our life manual. Like, they even said it, they was like B-I-B-L-E means, Bible means what? Basic instructions before leaving earth, man. That's true to assist with this, man. All right, but it says, if this city was like it, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right and on the left a deep water, and only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. And it tells you what? The scriptures tell you that it's easier for a man, it's harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven than basically a camel into the eye of the needle. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Than a rich man to enter to the kingdom of heaven, man. And we used to do that back in the ancient days. Y'all brothers know what I'm talking about. That basically the camel in the eye of the needle, you have to cross down and get into that small place, man. The camel, right?
And the camel was stubborn to get into that, that eye as well.
So you have to be strict and obedient on yourself with a camel to get into that eye of the needle, man. That's like unto us going into the kingdom of heaven, man. But it says, and only one path between them both, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, right? So we got the city that's given unto us for the inheritance, the kingdom, but we got to go through things to get to it, man. All types of things, all types of circumstances. It got a little bit more, but it says, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive the inheritance? So if we never go through this fire, if we never go through the dangers, and we never be tried by anything, how are we going to get into the kingdom of heaven, man? We're continuously being tried, all right, until the end. They that endure to the end shall be saved. What you got to play? We're going to start with that.
This is Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and there be many which go therein. Thereat, because straight
right,
is
and that's the world, man. You gotta. There be many that go into that broad gate. It's easy.
The world.
Yeah, it's easy to be in a Christian church and just accept whatever they're giving you. It's easy to go to a 4-year school and enroll and say, well, I'm going to take this path of life. But this path right here is much narrow, man. Anybody could go to school and say, well, hey, I just graduated high school. I'm going to be a doctor. Anybody can say that, right? You graduated high school, you can go to be a doctor. You graduated, you can go to be a nurse, you can go to be an astrologist, whatever you want. But you can't just say, well, I'm going to be a prophet of the Most High. The Most High is going to deal with me. I'm going to prophesy the downfall of America. No, you have to be sanctified. You have to be ordained to go through that narrow path, man. You got it, bro.
It says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it, man. As the brother was just not brought out that scripture. Can you bring out?
In 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 9, it says, if this city now, well, Salaki, I'm going to start at verse 7. 2nd Ezra 7:7. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
That's the broad way, man. That's the broad way that leaded to destruction, man. All these other things, all these other philosophies, right? All these other doctrines, all these other ways of the world, man. All right, and straight is the gate, which is what? The kingdom, man. All right, you got it.
Yeah. And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, only one path, man. It's only one path, man, to get to this kingdom, man. And we're on that right path. Lord willing, we be at that number. Who else, Akim, is calling upon the name of the Yahweh Shem Yahushua across the four corners, man? Except the apostles of Great Millstone down to the least of us, man. Who else is keeping the high holy days? Day of Atonement, Memorial of Blowing the Trumpet, Feast of the Tabernacles, Hanukkah, Feast of the Unleavened Bread, man. New moons, the Shabbats, man. If not us, then who? But also, we're saying that in our minds, and that's keeping us to build our faith. But also, we're saying, Lord, you don't have to choose us. We're hopeful elect. We're in these chains of darkness. You don't have to bestow this upon us, Lord. Have mercy upon us just in case you decide that even though we've been doing this works, I still don't choose you, because that's up to the Lord, man. We want to be in good case. But it says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? You got it, brother. Yeah, how should he receive his inheritance? We have to be tried, man. We have to be tempted. But through that temptation, the Lord is going to make a way that we escape, man. Through the things that we're seeing, the turmoil, all right? The Lord is going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to take you out of there. I'm going to preserve you from the said perils. You're going to laugh in the face of calamity. You're going to laugh in the face of your enemy, man. That's the type of case we want to be in with the Lord, man. That's why we deal with people how we deal with them. That's why we deal with our adversaries the way we deal with mom and pop the way we deal with them, because we want to be an example of how Yahushua was. So in their minds, when their time is to be judged, they can say, well, you had an example in your mind of how Yahushua was. That's what the Lord going to say. You had an example of I'm wise of how Yahushua was. You had an example in Apostle Tahar of how Yahushua walked the earth. And so you have no excuse for this indignation, man. The Lord's covering all bases, man. Y'all brothers got it. We're gonna get a couple more to you got it, man.
All right. I just want to read this real quick because I want to land back on something you said earlier. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that have been is it is that which it shall be, and the thing which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. And I'm reading that because I want to land back on what you said earlier about how the fire and the brimstone is basically ancient weapons, right? Ancient technology. Hey, and that's a very true point that you made. Okay, because here it is. Esau Edom likes to boast in nuclear weapons.
Right.
And like it says in Revelation 13 verse 14 on down. He causes miracles to happen where he maketh fire come down from heaven. Esau likes to boast in that as if he invented that technology, or as if he was the first one to use that type of weaponry or technology or things like that. But really, that's ancient technology. There's no new thing under the sun.
That's right, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You got some more?
And the fact that the Lord, used that technology the first time, when He rained that fire and brimstone down upon Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, as I just read, that there's new thing under the sun. Here it is. We're in Sodom and Egypt all over again spiritually, and the Lord is getting ready to, rain fire and brimstone, down upon this place and turn it into a lake of fire. Okay, and only deliver a remnant up out of that situation. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Hey, and hey, man, and we have these talks with each other, like amongst us, amongst the elders, amongst brothers in the camp, and we're seeing all these things, and it's like you would literally have to. We say this, y'all brothers done said you would have to literally be a madman to say, well, with all these things we've seen being in this truth, now we just want to go back to America and be a part of this system. Literally, the Lord had to really bug you out for you to say, man, I'm seeing these articles, I'm seeing the prophecies, I'm built up, and just to say, oh, I'm gonna go back in America, man. This place is gone. It's over with, man.
Yeah.
You got it, and just back to Brother Amanya with that precept, showing you that what ultimately the Lord is working these nuclear missiles. The Lord is creating this technology on the earth. Robert Oppenheimer, you got Robert Esau, those so-called not chemists, basically making that and conjuring up that nuclear weapon, man. The idea of it. You got it, bro.
This is Isaiah 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith, which is the scientist, that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bring forth the instruments for his work."
Right, because you got to have a lot of different type of things to make up that ICBM, man. To come up with that technology, man. That had to be created in a lab, man. All right? Scientifically, like the brother was going into. But who created those labs? Who created those scientists, man? Like the brother said. Robert J. Oppenheimer, Robert Esau. The Lord created all of them, man. Yeah, they may boast and say, I'm the destroyer of worlds and things like that, but that's ultimately the Most High who saying He's the destroyer of the worlds and He's the destroyer of kingdoms, man. You got it, brother.
It says, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, the Lord's work, not Esau's work, because what he said, I have become the destroyer of worlds. Ultimately, it's the Lord that have given you that knowledge to be the destroyer of the worlds, to destroy your own self, man.
Right.
All right, and I've created the waster to destroy, man. All right, and that's them ICBM missiles, man. All right, which is gonna obliterate this place, man. All right, the smithereens, literally. All right, the scriptures say that this place shall the elements shall melt with fervent heat, man. All right, so that's what's gonna happen to this place.
Yep. Start with Esau Edom. Wasted away is he, man. It's gonna be wasted away in this thermonuclear meat, and that kingdom is gonna be brought down, man. And Lord willing, we be of that number to escape these things, man. It's perilous times ahead, Akim. It's perilous times. So it will behoove you to see this video, see the apostles on down to the least of his videos, and come back to this truth, man. Humble yourself, man. Don't get caught up in this BS that's going on around you, man. Most High, He put brothers on different levels, different examples of how you may think life should be. He got a brother in basketball, a brother in the stock market, a brother that's a lawyer, different things like that, but all in the truth, man. To show forth the work that the Most High has worked throughout the planet Earth, man. But Lord willing, this message has been edifying. We're going to turn to face the east and give infinite honors and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well and are worthy of the double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. Bob,
Kwam
Kwam Yasha'Allah,
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Until next time, Shalom.